What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Sports Updates Ghana. My name is Joseph Adamafio, and coming up in this edition, we're going to check out the performance of Mohamed Kudus as West Ham came up against Man City in the Premier League match that was played today. Then we'll also look at how Inaki Williams and his brother Nico Williams performed in the game involving Atletico Club versus Atletico Madrid in the Spanish La Liga. Then we'll return to England, where two Ghanaian players were in action for their clubs in the English Championship. But there is a bad news for the Black Star squad, as one player has dropped out due to injury, and I'll bring you up to speed on that latest update right here on Sports Updates Ghana. So go nowhere, please subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment. So now let's get right into it. And West Ham United came up against Manchester City in an away fixture which was played in the Premier League today. And as usual, Ghana star boy Mohamed Kudus was in action for West Ham in this particular game. The game ended 3-1 in favor of Man City, Pep Guardiola's boys running away with the 3 points once again. And guess what? Erling Haaland scored a hat-trick again in this particular match. Charlie, Erling Haaland is turning the Premier League into a farmers league. My goodness, someone has to stop that guy from scoring goals. But our focus is on our star boy Mohamed Kudus, and he put up a decent performance in that game, but unfortunately his team were unable to win this particular match. Well, this was how the game unfolded. Well, it was Man City who scored the first goal in the 10th minute through Erling Haaland. Then Ruben Dias scored an own goal to make it 1-1 in the game. In the 30th minute, Erling Haaland scored it to make it 2-1 for the first half to end 2-1. And in the second half, around the 83rd minute, that was when Haaland scored the third goal to make it 3-1 for Man City to end up winning the match over there. So West Ham dropping points in the game against Man City over there last season. When the season was coming to an end, the last match, we all saw how Mohamed Kudus put all his best to ensure that, well, West Ham could have curtailed Man City from winning the Premier League, but that didn't happen this time. Mohamed Kudus couldn't score against Man City in this particular match, but he played 90 minutes of action, and the Ghanaian midfielder was able to make 40 touches in the game. He had a passing accuracy of 84%, 3 crosses, 2 long balls, 2 shots off target, 1 shot block, 4 dribbling attempts, and one of his shots hit the woodwork. So that was how close Mohamed Kudus came to scoring in the game, but unfortunately the post denied him a goal. He was involved in 9 grounded duels. He won 4 out of those grounded duels and lost possession of the ball just 12 times. And Mohamed Kudus had 1 shot blocked in the game. Overall, Mohamed Kudus was rated 6.6 for his performance in the game by SofaScore. So that was how Mohamed Kudus performed for West Ham in their game against Man City. Yet still, Mohamed Kudus is yet to find the back of the net after 3 matches in the Premier League. Well, we hope that after the international break, Mohamed Kudus can return to score goals for West Ham in the Premier League. Now, away from the Premier League, let's travel to Spain, because Inaki Williams and his Spanish brother, that is Nico Williams, were involved in action for Atletico Bilbao in their game against Atletico Madrid. 1-0 it ended in favor of Atletico Madrid, picking up the 3 points over Athletic Bilbao. Well, the game ended 0-0, but in the injury time, yes, that was when Atletico Bilbao made a shocking and an unforgivable mistake, and well, Correa went up to score the only goal in the game to ensure that, well, Atletico Madrid ended up winning the game by 1-0. So imagine, for 90 minutes you've defended very well, you've not conceded a goal, you've also not scored a goal, you're fighting hard to get 1 point, and all of a sudden your defender makes a mistake and you ended up conceding 1 goal. Well, that was how the game ended for Atletico Bilbao in their game against Atletico Madrid. Well, their captain, that is Inaki Williams, was substituted in the 71st minute, and For Inaki Williams, he had 49 touches on the ball, 64% passing accuracy, 4 crosses, 1 long ball. He didn't contribute to any shots in the game because it was such a tough game. Inaki Williams had 9 dribbling attempts. He won 5. He was involved in 12 grounded duels. He won 5. And he was involved in 2 aerial duels and he won 1. And unfortunately, well, Inaki Williams had a very tough day in office. He lost possession of the ball on 23 occasions. That was a tough lack for Inaki Williams over there in the game. But to the Spanish La Liga as well, Ghanaian defender that is Abdul Mumin was in action for his club Rayo Vallecano as he came up against Espanyol. Espanyol won the game by 2-1, but Abdul Mumin played 90 minutes of action and got a yellow card. And over the midweek, I told you how Abdul Mumin performed very well for his club, that is Rayo Vallecano, as they unfortunately lost their game to Barcelona. Again, they've lost their game to Espanyol, but yet still, Abdul Mumin is churning out some good performance and is a player to watch. Well, we'll see how he continues to maintain his performance over there. But now let's travel back to England and to the English Championship. Coventry came up against Norwich City, and Black Star striker that is Braden Thomas Asante was in action for Coventry in the match, whilst Forsen Amankwa was also involved in action for Norwich in the match. Guess who won the match? Norwich won the away game over here by 1-0. Forsen Amankwa was in action in the match. He started the match for his team and played 45 minutes of action before he was substituted. And for Forsen Amankwa, he was even left out of the Blaster squad because it was feared that he was injured after he played a match for Norwich during the midweek, and it turned out that he was not seriously injured. So he ended up playing today's game for Norwich, and he catapulted his team to victory once again in the English Championship. For the Blaster striker, Braden Thomas Asante came on as a substitute in the match but couldn't help Coventry in the game to pick up a point as they lost all 3 points to their opponents, that is Norwich City. Well, away from that, let's get back home and talk about the Black Stars as we prepare for the 2025 AFCON qualifiers games against Angola and Niger. And we just less than a week to that match. Well, Ghanaian defender that is Alexander Djiku, who was named in Coach Otuado's squad, has dropped out of the squad due to injury. In a latest post by the Ghana Football Association, they revealed that Alexander Djiku has decided to exclude himself from this particular match. Why? Because Alexander Djiku got injured in Fenerbahce's game that they played yesterday on Friday against Alanyaspor, and according to the GFA's report, they claim that initial scans have revealed that the player picked up a grade 1 strain in the front part of his right thigh, that is the quadriceps, and would need about 10 or 14 days to recover, making him unavailable for the qualifiers. Alexander Djiku was part of Coach Otuado's 23-man squad for Ghana's AFCON qualifiers game against Angola and Niger. Djiku made his debut for Ghana in October 2020 and has gone on to play 31 times for the Black Stars, and that is what the GFA's report claims. So right now, it's up to Coach Otuado to name a replacement for Alexander Djiku in the squad, and I think that he has to look at Abdul Mumin, and Charlie, he has to be in the squad. Well, this is where we draw down the curtains for this episode of Sports Updates Ghana. It's always a pleasure coming your way with a sports update, and I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe.